Hello everybody, this is Dr. Dad Gaming. Welcome back to the playthrough with Dingus. We're going to do the Return to Ostagar DLC today. Let's get started. So in the last episode we finished the first part of the Stone Prisoner DLC, so now we got our companion Shale, and now we will go ahead and head to back to Ostagar. First we have to go and find Banloran's men, and then we will return to Ostagar and see the aftermath of the betrayal of Loghain. Hopefully everybody's having a great day today. I know I am. Shale has a hatred for all birds, as you can see from someone who is a statue. Banloran's lands. We gotta basically get the quest first, or I guess the official return to Ostagar, so it'll show up on the map. But otherwise, this won't take very long. Looks like trouble to me.
Couldn't we all just get along?
I try to be merciful.
And the bit more die. All right.
All
What do
right.
you need?
Besides talking to companions when I don't mean to, I guess we'll see what this guy has to say. Alright, I guess I'm going to keep going towards that mana clash.
Sadly,
These
not.
sustained spells are okay, but they do take away from your mana. So at early levels I don't find it super helpful because you always run out of mana.
Thank you. I didn't expect the band's men to notice my escape so quickly. I tried to hide here in the woods, but there wasn't time. And now I'm a dead man. You were there in Ostagar. You know how things went. For me, it was either this, or die in some darkspawn's belly, or be hung as a deserter. You were there with the Grey Wardens, one of Duncan's new recruits. I was to guard the king. He was my friend, understand? Maker. All that time in Ban Loren's prison. And I couldn't stop thinking about all they suffered that one dark
I would
night.
say that this DLC is not the most, I guess, story-centric. For the most part, you're just going to gain some pretty good equipment that will last you the entire game that you will not be able to wear right now.
I knew there would be no victory at Ostagar. The king entrusted me with the key to the royal arms chest. If anything were to happen to him, he said, it was vital I deliver it to the warden.
You do get a little bit of payback, so we'll get there though.
Sense of humor, doesn't he?
I'm going to go see
I suppose it's for the best, however.
what
Had
kind
I
of
kept
dark
it,
spawn
it
and
would be in
things
Ban
are still
Loren's
there
hands by
after
now.
Why am I not
Logain's
surprised?
betrayal.
Is there someone else we should be bringing back from the brink of death instead?
I was afraid. I thought I would lose it on the battlefield, so I stashed it in the camp. Please, it's probably still there. The key's behind a loose stone at the base of a statue. I'll draw a map for you, so you'll know where to search.
You'll be taking me along, won't you? Call me sentimental, but I left behind some dark spawn that really deserve a sword through the middle.
It is vital that the king's documents do not fall into the wrong hands. As for Marek's sword, it is too powerful, and if you happen to find Cailan's body, see it off. He was a...
I will say that, story related, you would definitely want to bring Alistair on this quest. But with that, we'll go ahead and head to Ostagar. What kind of enemies do we gonna fight today? Ooh, oh, that's lucky. So what this is you're about to get some meteor ore. And this is just a random event, and this will give you one of the best swords in the game once you bring it to a capable smith, which I believe also works with the or works off of the Warden's Keep DLC, which we will do next. I'm not sure if you don't have it, this will actually happen, or if you do, if it still happens, if there's anyone else that can do it. I'm not sure. That's not attached to any quest, so it's really outside of the 100% achievements types of stuff that I'm going for in this Let's Play / walkthrough. Welcome to Ostagar.
I see them. Dark spawn. I should run like...
As you can see, the entire city seems to be have been razed.
Got to hand it to the Darkspawn. They sure know how to make a place feel desolate.
Lots of ash, I'm assuming. Maybe that's snow, but probably ash. Happy, happy birdie.
More Darkspawn. Great.
Go ahead and get to our parenting tip of the day. And this one's not really about parenting, but more about being an adult. I would say that you need to make sure to eat well, exercise, and stay healthy for your kids, because you want to be able to be there when your kid is 30, 40, 50, and you are, you transition to become a grandparent. And the best time to start that is now, when you're in your, mid-20s, 30s, well before you're 40, because once you get into your 40s and your 50s, it's almost too late at that point. You've already kind of set up yourself for your older age. So hit the gym, walk 30 minutes a day, don't overeat, which is one of the big problems we have as Americans.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry, but it's clearly Cailan's.
back to where we did the joining. Obviously that joining chalice is something that Alistair will want. Anything related to the wardens basically automatically goes to Alistair as far as gifts go.
We go to combat!
This guy right here in the green, in the yellow text, the Forge Master is going to have, I believe, the first piece of Cailan's armor, which is the main pieces of equipment you're getting in this DLC. You'll get Cailan's whole armor set, which is basically gold armor, and then you will also get, I believe, a Merrick's sword and his shield. Cailan's shield, that is. And all of those are pretty good items. You could probably play the entire game once you hit the minimum requirements for those items with those items. While I have your attention, feel free to subscribe and like this video, just so it can be discovered a little bit more easy by other people who are starting this Dragon Age journey. I'd really appreciate it. I'm not trying to make money on YouTube. I just want to make people's days and make them easier, and you know, if I help someone and give them a smile, then that's what I'm here for. Looks like the Forge Master doesn't have it, so the armor pieces must be in some chest nearby. See how we can get to that sparkly. There we go. We have a key now. Just have to find the Royal Arms chest now. Wow, still don't have that key.
Sorry. No, I don't think so.
Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Alright, looks like we might be good. Oh, here's the key to the mage's chest. I knew I missed something. Oh, and by the way, that key was on that prisoner in the, first couple videos in the Corkery Wilds, so he must have for sure stolen it. So at least you gave him a meal, or maybe you didn't, but just know that he is definitely guilty. Alright, that Magister staff is pretty good.
All done.
I would say that there's only a couple really good staffs in this game. and you'll get one in the Warden's Keep DLC. This one's pretty good. It will probably be better than most of what you'll get throughout the game unless you buy something better. There are a couple better than this one, but if you have another mage in your party, that would be great for them, because they're probably not going to get a better one than that. Yeah, the shields also are kind of always tapped out. Their defense basically stays the same from level 1 up through. It's just what's attached to the extra bonuses for the shields. Yep, I forgot to outfit Shale. See where we gotta go.
As you desire.
Genlock Rogue surprise. There we go. This is the one I think you get one of the pieces of armor from.
As you desire. So I know.
Let's see. Yep. This is where his shield is. Like I said, Cailan's shield's pretty good. Also, from a story perspective, which you'll get into later, or which we will get into later, it makes sense to outfit Alistair in all of Cailan's gear. However, if you are a warrior and you don't want to take Alistair with you, then Cailan's armor is a good looking set of armor. See if they snuck anything back in these corners. Much like many of you who have played Dragon Age, or at least are familiar with it, I tried to get into this and replay all these games, Origins to Inquisition, because Veilguard came out, and I really wanted to see the differences between all 4 games, and so this will be the first game of the 4 Dragon Ages that we'll eventually cover on this channel. I believe that I will be working on a review for this one in my first video that I ever posted style of deciding how well does it rate when you consider being a busy gamer. I believe the Dragon Age will actually score pretty high, but we will see.
Complete. Judging by these documents, it's a pity we hadn't placed more trust in Orlais and
As an engineer, you definitely just want to trust the data, so we'll apply all the values and look at all the scores, and once we reduce it down based on all the weights, we will determine once and for all what one guy on the internet who is a dad and has a busy gaming schedule as well as life, and what he thinks about Dragon Age Origins, one of the games that's never ever been reviewed before.
And so I shall. Delighted.
If anybody has anything they want to say about maybe how I'm editing this video, or some of the stuff that, whoops, didn't mean to hit that trap, some of the stuff that I'm doing in the video that you would rather me skip over, or any recommendations on how I should change it, please let me know.
More darkspawn, I see.
I am endeavoring to give you the best product I can in the time that I have available, and you're not going to hurt my feelings if you say it's trash, because all criticism is good criticism.
What now?
Do this, do that.
I didn't get a PhD because I was afraid of criticism, so like I said, please be brutal. Looks like I'm tapped out on inventory, so unfortunately, I guess one tip I should say is you definitely want to sell everything before you go out on any of these bigger quests or areas, because otherwise you're just going to have to either not loot, which is not an option, or just destroy things that are in your junk, and that will free up some inventory space. Technically, you could probably be a little bit more specific on what you loot, but I find it much quicker to just loot everything and then you can destroy things or sell them later. You can also give gifts. That's a good way to get rid of some of your inventory. But otherwise, just put everything in junk, destroy what you need, do whatever you want. But we'll go ahead and skip over some of this. Alright. And you can see right there that we got a minor constitution buff because we have increased our approval with Alistair enough. Alright, I guess it's time to get over this bridge. Q for sadness. Cailan was a good man. So that guy right there is the final boss of this area. He's going to run off. He's kind of I think he's a Ginlock necromancer. So eventually the last fight we have, what you can do is kill him first, and all the things that he actually rose from the dead will automatically die. Definitely want to take out this mage though. He's even on casual kind of kicking my butt. Let's go get these stragglers. While we finish up this battle, I'll go ahead and say that I apologize. This video will probably be posted a little bit late. This last weekend was my birthday. I turned 33, so I didn't have as much time to create content. I had my parents come up here and they took me out to lunch and stuff like that. So yes, I'm only 33, but just, you know, in the gaming space, that's basically ancient at this point.
I'm sensing more dark spawn, as you desire.
I'll caution everybody in this little zone, there is a lot of traps, so just watch where you step.
And so I shall. And so I shall. Right, the light.
And this guy will have another piece of Cailan's armor. So all of Cailan's armor you will probably not be able to wear right now. I think you need about a strength of about 40-ish to be able to wear it. So it's very unlikely, unless you do this DLC a little bit later on, to be able to wear it immediately. It is one of the best in the game, besides I think the dragon plate superior armor that you can get made. It is one of the best in the game, and I also like how it looks, so I believe I'll put Alistair in it. It also, from a story standpoint, makes sense that Alistair would get it. Grab a little bit of loot if you want, and you have a rogue in the party that can disable these traps. You can get a little bit of experience by going ahead and disabling those traps. So you may ask, what's the purpose of looting everything that you see? It's mainly to sell it, because once you get your main party outfitted with some pretty good gear, it's unlikely that you're going to get a whole lot better. Just keep an eye on it. You want to make sure that you have the best gear for all your people, so every time I go back to camp, I usually like to kind of outfit everybody with the latest stuff. If you don't use them very often, you don't have to do it every single time, maybe just every other time. But keeping them up to date is pretty useful, because most people like me, I'll usually take, you know, if there's a personal quest, I'll take them with me and want them to have good armor and weapons, obviously. Otherwise, if you like crafting, then you definitely want to loot everything, and if you like money, then you definitely want to loot everything and just sell it later. Consumables, I usually don't use them very often. The only ones I really use are the poultices and the mana ones. Even those I don't use all too often. But there are ones that will make you much more, you know, resistant to certain types of damage, which is probably very useful on like a nightmare run. And then runes on weapons is another thing, but that's, you probably won't loot a lot of those immediately. It takes a while for those to matter. And then one of the DLCs, which is the biggest DLC, Awakening, you can actually make your own runes. But we'll get through some of these last enemies and get to the tower, which is the same tower that we went through in the very first session or so to light the signal to make Logain and his crew go and attack the Dark Spawn, but it was ignored.
So I shall.
And that guy right there has another piece of Cailan's armor, which we'll pick up here in a minute.
Let's use that.
Is that all you've got?
Breastplate. So I believe we have the shield, the breastplate, and the gauntlets so far.
Alistair here.
And here you can see we already have to do a little bit of inventory management.
It's done.
It's smart to sell everything to Bodan or whoever, some merchant, because before every big mission, by doing that you won't run into as many issues. Although I usually play in spurts, so a lot of times I won't, and I'll end up having to do what I just did and just destroy some stuff. It's not a big deal. You'll get plenty of gold either way, and you just get a lot of extra excess equipment. Welcome to the Tower of Ashal again. Here's our little necromancer guy. He's still running away.
Watch out. There's darkspawn over there.
And we get to go through the Tower of Ashal once again. I believe the enemy placement and everything for this tower is actually basically the exact same, just very minor differences, so you should be familiar with this layout, especially if you do it as early as I'm recommending.
I see it found some augmentation. So, what does it think? They don't make me look any wider, do they? I find I'm already too wide. It must be the vertical pattern it put them in. Did it know to do that? It must.
This is your first indication that Shale's absolutely a woman.
As possible. I want to.
Time for more darkspawn, I think. All right.
Be careful!
And instead of going through the entire tower, we get to go through some darkspawn tunnels, which, to my knowledge, is kind of how they were able to get into the Tower of Ashal in the first place and kind of get behind all the forces that are fighting. If you see any cuts in the video, it's mainly because I was doing some more inventory management because I already maxed out my inventory, but for now we'll go in these darkspawn tunnels.
I'm sensing more darkspawn.
Obviously, this was not a part of the first portion of the game. It's a new area, in quotes. Shouldn't have too much longer in this DLC, so hopefully we can get this video in under an hour. I know it's kind of counterintuitive that as Dr. Dad Gaming and my goal of making you a busy gamer in an hour-long video for you to watch, it doesn't make sense, but hey, sometimes even watching an hour-long video or playing along with it will make your overall gaming experience go more quickly. And hey, you know, like I said, I just enjoy doing this, so.
All right.
I see
Got some more enemies here.
So I shall.
At this point, if I had Mana Clash, I could basically one-shot this Hurlock Emissary, but for now, I will just have to do it the old-fashioned way. If you can get up on those mages, you can really kill them quickly. As you've probably seen, mages are pretty squishy.
What now? I finished.
Lovely.
Looks like we might be.
Spiders, spiders, and spiders. I am playing this on Xbox Series X, and which means it's vanilla, it has no mods, but if I could have a mod, I would love to change the spiders into something else, because I really don't like spiders. As you just saw there, getting stun locked by webs can be dangerous. Just be on the lookout for that. That should be it for this area. We'll head on to the battlefield then. Now, the fight you're about to have is with this Necromancer guy, so if you can get up on the Necromancer and kill him really quickly, then everything will die, including this big ogre. Which, for casual, it's not going to matter, but on the higher levels, if you can get to this Necromancer, you can go ahead and end this fight really early.
Here comes trouble! Be careful! You should run while you can.
there you go. Got the achievement in war victory for completing the Return to Ostagar DLC.
There.
And now you have
That is the
Cailan's
last of
helm.
them. I only pray we can carry them as valiantly as he.
Have all the pieces now. I think the only thing left to do in this DLC is to wrap it up by going back to Cailan, where he's pinned up, and giving him a proper send-off. And thankfully, when we travel at this doorway, it will automatically send us to the next area. Or, well, maybe not this doorway. The way we came in. We don't have to go all the way back through those tunnels. It will automatically teleport us to the end.
Oh, they left him here to rot. We need to do something. He was a good man.
A funeral pyre is always one of my favorite ways to
and
go.
died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him.
And so ends the Return to Ostagar DLC. There may be a little bit more to just chat about with some companions, but otherwise that is the end. And we're going to go to party camp, and that will be the end of this video. So with nothing else, Dr. Dad out.